Okay guys, coming at you from Fort Worth, Texas, in my new Chevy Bolt. Had it for since February, several months. And this is the problem. So the sunshade is, when you're driving along and the sun is to your left, and the sun just comes right through here at your side and just real annoying, and your cheap plasticky sun visor just can't quite cover this area. It doesn't slide out. So this is a 2017, and they fixed this in the 2018 model. So I thought, okay, let's just order a 2018 sun visor, and I did so. And here is the part numbers, and I'll explain the cover here in a minute. I'm just doing the driver's side, and if that's successful, I will then follow up with the passenger side, or I may not need it, I don't know yet. Anyway, there's the prices you can see I got off of this one website. I'm sure there's others you can Google, but I got a little bit of a discount there. I don't remember what the normal price is, but I think it was around $99 for the normal price. And just got it in the other day, and here's that part number, and comes like this. It's made of a cloth. Has a little bit bigger mirror than the plastic one, and comes with two bolts that I'm going to be removing out of the old one. And here is the cover, which can hide the, although I don't know why they did this. The 2017 model, they just have the holes visible and that's it, but for some reason in the 2018 they have all these extra little pieces of, I guess, options. Maybe those fit other model cars like a Cruze or something, I don't know. I didn't do all that kind of research. Here's the plastic cover to hide its ugliness. I guess we'll just pry that open to get that in there. These bolts are a T15 Torx, which I got the bit in my screwdriver here. And let's go ahead and we'll take this one out and get some light on here to help out the camera. And comes out pretty easily. Didn't need a lot of force to get that started. Okay. Now the other side. Okay, those screws are out. I'm going to put those down here for now. And let's see how this wiggles out of here. I'm going to have to look at this to see how it's clipped in there. So it looks like a pretty strong clip there. Maybe it looks like possibly I need to rotate it to the right a little bit, maybe. Okay, so I had to cut off the camera to get all hands on deck here, and what I did was I grabbed multiple screwdrivers to slowly and gingerly pry this out of here. And what I had to do, I'm not sure if the camera's getting this, I'm going to show you it down here on the new one. what I had to do here was wiggle the screwdriver and reach in here and wedge it between. There was in the liner there's a piece of plastic that comes down here and clips into this piece. I had to reach in there and very forcefully separate that to release the right side. So the next problem I have is that this piece that's locked up in there has no way to get pressure to. You can push on one side, and I'm sure there's some special tool they have that reaches up in there and squeezes both those sides evenly and pulls them down. And without that special tool, what I've done by force is I pulled out this side, but I believe the left side has gotten caught up and either smashed up in there as I applied pressure. I'm not sure. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to just grab a hot knife and just cut off this piece up in there. That's going to be my next step. Okay, so I got this free, and what happened was, while I was heating up my hot knife in preparation to cut this, I was just examining this, and I pushed it back in place by accident and locked it up again, and in trying to get it out the second time, that little top piece snapped off and went up into the actually went right there. I got my hands on it, so let me see if I can grab that out of the hole there. Can't quite grab it. I'm just gonna leave it up in there. If it ever rattles, I'll hate myself, but okay, so now what I did notice when I got this piece out, I noticed there's yet another piece involved here. It looks like some kind of a double sticky tape washer type of item. I'll try to show you with this magnifier here. We'll get that part number hopefully. And let's see if I can get that part number. Okay, so I'm going to go look that up later. And what I'll try to do right now is I will try and pry this off. I'll shut the camera off and come back here in a minute. Okay, so I'm just slowly working my way around this ring with a just a file, little cheapy file, pocket knife file, not the blade part. And I'm just working my way to peel this off. Okay, so now I just got that off of here, and I will now place it on the new one. And let's see if I can show you and look at it through my glasses here. I'm going to have to shut off the camera again. Okay, so there's more pieces on here than the old one. So this sticky washer, I need to modify some cutouts here to go around it. Again, I'm not sure how necessary this is, but I figured it's maybe there to maybe do some dampening for some vibration or noise. I don't know, but I thought I'd just take the extra time and make those cutouts here and underneath here for those extra pieces that, who knows, these might actually be like I'm thinking these are electrical wiring holders for certain models of cars that have wired lights around the vanity mirrors, whereas the Bolt does not have lighted mirrors. Okay, so I got it all cut out with the small little pocket knife scissors, which are very fine. And this is a workout. This is like 20 to 30 minutes to get this in position, and the cutouts are like even around here. It was slightly different sizing than the old one, so I mean it's just a lot of tedious work. It's just like I don't know. I wonder if this part is available. I'll have to look that up later. So anyway, I got this all cut out. I decided to cut. This wasn't this was being covered, so I decided to cut these out so it wouldn't cause any grief when I mounted the cover, the clip to go over here for cosmetics on the underside. Okay, so let's oh, just to let you know what's going on up in here. So you got this kind of like thick, I want to call it a washer with all the appropriate cutouts in here, and behind that is well, they got some clips that take the screws that go in there, but behind that is basically a thick steel or some sort of aluminum alloy, very heavy gauge. So all that to say, when you're prying this out, sure, you're gonna have to worry about the screwdriver maybe marring this washer, but as far as damage or putting pressure on the roof liner itself, I mean, that thing's very heavy gauge. It'd be very hard to damage it or depress it in any way. So okay, well, let's just go ahead and snap this in place now, and I'm going to use the, I don't know if it snaps in place and then I screwed in. I'll just go ahead and start the screws to help me out here. Okay, there's that snap. Man, that's pretty solid. I didn't hear a snap on the left side, but it's possible the left side already... Let's see if I can... Let me take this camera off here. Seems like there's a slight distortion right here. I'm gonna have to go work on that. See what's going on there. Okay, so here's what I figured out. This is quite the project. So something's, when I screw the bolts down, I can feel that it's not going flush. So this bulges out here, this bulges out here, and there's a huge gap back here. So what I've determined now, and I've got a big problem now, is this keeper has been snapped in place. I can't get it out anymore unless I have that special GM tool or whatever that is, or I don't know if the procedure is always, it's a one-way ticket and you have to break it to get the part out again. I can't believe that. There's got to be a tool that goes up in there and compresses that release. Anyway, it's so tight I can't even get like thin bladed screwdrivers in there to help release that. So what's going on here, what I'm going to have to do is, I figured out by looking up with the magnifier on the cell phone into those cavities, I figured out that these clips don't really do anything. So they're just kind of maybe an alignment, or and again, in another vehicle they might have been used to clip into place. This might be a multi-vehicle part. And so what I figured out is these clips on this part compared to the old one, they're a little bigger, and so that's why they can't I can't screw the bolts down all the way because those pieces are not they're not going into anything or compressing anything. They're just too big and they're just stopping the insertion. So I'm going to take the hot knife and reach in there on this part. In this part you have no holes to reach in there, but you can see what the backside should look like. I'm going to reach in there with a knife into the square hole on each side, and I'm going to sever that little piece that sticks up because it's not used anyway. It's just blocking my insertion. And then if you notice this little cavity right here, there's a little chunk of plastic that sticks up that possibly that's an alignment piece for another vehicle. That piece sticking up here is bottoming out, and so it won't insert all the way. So now, because I can't remove the part and work on it and chop that off, I'm going to have to drill that out. So that's going to be my next step. Okay, so I thought I'd show you this. I reached in there with a hot X-Acto knife, and I've melted out that piece. Unfortunately, I also tarnished this little piece here, bumping against it. So I got that thing loose. This one I was able to get it out, and I'll pull that off here in a sec. I might as well do it now. It's off. The other side, however, it didn't drop out, but I felt it kind of give away, and it let the piece settle in place, so I could screw it in now. Now I just got to drill this guy out to just get rid of that lump on the inside. Okay, so here I am drilling this out, and I've already gone in a little ways, and after about 20-30 rotations at slow speed, I felt the pressure relief, so a little bit has gotten better. There's still a little bit of a gap there. I'm trying to just get a little more material out of there without hitting that washer. Using an 11/32 drill bit here, and let's see how that feels. Okay, I think I'm still getting just gray plastic. The gap's almost, it's pretty close. Let's see if I can tighten that up. No, there's still a gap. I still need to get some more material out of there. Let me lower it down a little so it has room for the bit to climb in there. And let me clean the drill bit off here. See how that does, how that feels. Let's get the trusty magnifier going for me. See what it looks like up in there. Okay, so looks pretty good. Looks like there's it looks like I've broken through, but then some of the sides are still part of the puzzle. I might need to drill at a little kind of an angle to get it all carved out of there. Let's see. Okay, let's see how that feels now. could do let me go one size bigger on the drill bit. Okay, so now we got a 3/8, so it's just a little bit tighter, and we should draw out a little more material. Okay, that's much better. Not perfect yet. I just got to decide if it's enough for me to close this up. There's like a little bit of a gap. Let's tighten up the bolts and see how it feels. Okay, we're much improved. I'm thinking I'm gonna go with this. Extremely strong. I mean, it's basically melded to, or melted to the sheet metal alloy inside portion of the roof. So extremely strong. A little bit of a gap. I think I like it. Just need to smooth that out a little bit for the okay, that's smooth. And that's almost smooth. Okay, that's smooth. Okay. Well, I'm liking it. It's not perfect. It's a little bit, there's still something a little bit obstructive here. Let's go ahead and try the cover now. Okay, this cover, I believe, is symmetrical. I believe this slit goes towards that direction. And let me see here. It's it goes right there. There's where the slit matches line. The slit lines up with that little line of plastic. Okay. Let me put it on this side. So it's going to go that way. There we go. Just press that on there and there we go. Okay, I definitely like this this mirror is bigger. It's kind of nice. It's going to make me want to do the right side, but now that I know what has to happen before it goes in, I will definitely chop off those pieces and ahead of time rather than doing it in place. And this was a project. Let's see. I don't know my exact timing. I didn't like start a timer. I want to say I got about at least 2 hours. So hopefully you guys can benefit from my little adventure here and save yourself some time and grief. Could you take this to the dealer and have them do it? But that, if they have that special tool, I'm sure they would do it for you. I'm not 100% sure because again, this is kind of an odd thing to do. A 2018 into a 2017. Oh, okay. So let's. Why do we do all this? So we could pop it and slide it. There we go. That little gap's still here, but I think my head is far enough forward that solves that problem. And that looks pretty decent. Okay. Alright, well thanks for watching and hope this helps you.